afternoon. Sorry, good morning, everybody that's watching. I hope that you're excited because we are. We want to welcome you to the 2020 virtual homecoming spotlight. So we have a awesome panel today, and I'm sure that you guys, if you haven't already seen the flyer, I want you to go back and look at it one more time because these people that are on this panel today are going to give us some great information. And so the purpose of today's event is to showcase our esteemed alumni of Voorhees College and the success and what they've been doing in their careers. And so before we move any further, we want to have a quick prayer by Dr. Skip Mason. And once we have a prayer, we then will go into our panel discussion. So Dr. Mason, it's in your hands.
Thank you, Mr. Dew. And you emphasize quick, and so let it be. God, we thank you for Voorhees College. We thank you, God, for the amazing graduates that have passed through its hallowed halls. We thank you, God, for those who understand these words will raise a louder song, for we love our dear old Voorhees, the white and the true blue. God, we ask that you would bless Voorhees College, that she may continue to serve, nurture, and mentor students. We thank you, God, for the alumni throughout the country doing great and marvelous things, even during this time of pandemic and COVID-19. God, we ask that you would bless this virtual alumni showcase, that these who shall come will come and pour out inspiration and inspire and nurture future Voorhees graduates to go and take on the world. We thank you right now. We pray that Voorhees will have a wonderful homecoming celebration, and we give you the glory, the honor, and the praise in the marvelous name and in remembrance of the founder, Elizabeth Evelyn Wright. We thank you, Father, and your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray, and all who believe said, amen.
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 Amen. So let's give it up for the Dr. Skip Mason for that awesome prayer. So now we're going to go into our panel introductions. But before we move, because this conversation is so vital to the students that are at Voorhees right now, we need for you to click that share button, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube. Please share because somebody needs this conversation. And so our first panelist, we have Dr. Gary Edwards from Edwards Water College, Director of Advising and Academic Student Success Initiatives. Dr. Gary Edwards, can we put some claps in the chat, put some hoorays, something? Let's welcome Dr. Gary Edwards to our discussion today. Let's clap it up for him. All right. Next, yes, sir. Next, we have Miss Christina Donovan, who is a legislative assistant for the United States House of Representatives. Let's put some more claps. Let's put some hoorays. Let's get excited for Miss Christina Donovan. Let's clap it up for her. Christina, glad to have you. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. All right. So now we want to welcome an entrepreneur to our discussion. We have a very diverse discussion today, you all. We have a plethora of people. So we got Mr. Stephen Barge. He is an entrepreneur and founder and CEO of Tenacity. So let's clap it up for him. Let's clap.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for doing that. Yes, sir. All right. So let's get started, you all. Victoria Taylor.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing? How are you doing? So we have our last panelist. She's here with us. She's a juvenile probation parole specialist at Georgia Department of Juvenile Justice. So let's clap it up for all of our panelists. You guys, we have some awesome people here today. Before we go into our additional introductions, I want you guys to keep sharing this information. So, Dr. Gary Edwards, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, sir.
All right, so tell the people, man. I'm sure with the doctor in front of your name, you have a lot of accomplishments. So tell us a little bit about yourself, really quickly, if you don't mind. Tell us about when you graduated, what you're doing now, and tell us that story really quick, if you don't mind.
Oh man, well, thank you for having me again. As you stated, I am Dr. Gary Edwards from Piedmont, South Carolina.
Yes, sir.
And I am first generation college student and a proud alumnus from Voorhees College for the class of 2012, where I earned my bachelor's of science degree in criminal justice. So upon me leaving Voorhees College, I enrolled at Alabama A&M University, where I earned my master's in counseling psychology. But I do want to share that while along the journey at Voorhees College, I was heavily involved in student activities, student engagement, leadership opportunities. But also, I was not the best student, I would say. And I will share that a little bit later as well. There was I would rather say a circuitous pattern of events to where they led to where I am today. And that's through those struggles, hardships that ultimately aided in my matriculation and graduation, Voorhees, as well as Alabama A&M University, and also recently earned my doctorate at Tribeca Nazarene University. And so I've had a lot of help along the way, a lot of prayers, encouragement, but I am here today and I'm proud to be amongst the esteemed alumni of Voorhees College. Thank you.
Let's give it up again for the Dr. Gary Edwards is on our discussion today. So let's shift and go to Miss Christina Donovan. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Christina, if you don't mind.
Hi, everybody. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. And then through some little navigations throughout life, I ended up at Voorhees College, a little bit of an older student. But I graduated in May virtually with a bachelor's of mass communication. And of course, as Mr. Wright has to put in, I was the SGA president 2018 through 2019. And I was virtually a student my senior year, which was kind of interesting, but and a little bit longer than everybody else was, being that the pandemic started in March. But I was a very active student. One way or another, I was HCAS, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, SGA, of course, Mass Communication Club. Like, when there was something, I was usually there. But, you know, time happened that I was older, so also I had a clearer path of what I needed to get accomplished and what I needed to set forth and do. So I'm just glad that I had my friends, my line sisters, Mr. Wright, you know, those people around that were able to assist me in that journey.
All right, everybody, let's clap it up for Miss Christina Donovan that's joining us today. Now let's go to our entrepreneur that's in the discussion. I'm sure he has some gems and some nuggets for everybody. So Stephen, tell us a little bit about yourself if you don't mind, brother.
Thank you, Demetrius. So my name is Stephen Barge. I'm a serial entrepreneur. So that if you don't know what that means pretty much I got my hand in a lot of different places. I start a lot of different business ventures, and I collaborate with, you know, other business partners. So just to talk about my first company, I own a tech startup called Tenacity. What we're doing there is we're automating the leasing process from start to finish through a mobile app. We also pretty much provide a property management platform to all of our properties that we partner with. And from there, they can see all of the requests from applicants that come in from our app, review credit scores, and also accept those applications, disapprove those applications. And pretty much we're just streamlining that leasing process. I also have a brand called Barge Consulting Group, where I'm actually providing financial literacy knowledge to over 1,500 students, ranging from 18 all the way to 50. So I created this brand in March, and pretty much just teaching a lot of people about the stock market, financial literacy, retirement funds, a lot of different things that a lot of people don't really have access to or knowledge about. I've just been dedicating that time to, just spread that knowledge. So during my time at Voorhees, if you would ask, Gary was there with me. My mindset is totally different from it was when it was 7 years ago when I graduated in 2013. I had no idea about entrepreneurship. I didn't know how to get started. But I can say that Voorhees definitely gave me that push to be able to dive in and push myself harder and reach out to different resources, network with different people. So when I was at Voorhees, I was very involved with a lot of different student activities, as well as pre-alumni council, also Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So during that time there, that a lot of those different resources that I knew that I wasn't going to get from, just internally, just from, my family and just growing up, I just used my resources on campus, and teachers, it went from teachers to anyone that was outside of Voorhees, and they really helped me kind of have the mindset to see if I don't know the answer, to go ahead and find the answer. So that's just a little background on me. I can talk forever, but that's just that's just a little short phrase right now.
No, it's all right, brother. We got a moment for you to talk. And first of all, I think before moving any further, somebody needs to take notes because he said his first business. That's a gem alone because he has multiple businesses. So let's take notes there. So this is our last panelist. Zaporia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself if you don't mind?
Hi, I'm Zipporah Taylor. I graduated in the class of 2017 from Voorhees College. I was very involved on campus. I was in several different clubs, organizations. I was even Miss Senior 2017, 2016, 2017. I also was a part of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I was in student support services. I'm a first generation grad. It's Voorhees is like my home away from home. If I could pack Voorhees up in a bag and bring it with me everywhere I go, I would. Trust me,
Okay,
because I love every connection, every person that I met there. Is really genuine love. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I like that. If I could pack it in a bag and take it with me everywhere, I would. I like that, and that leads me to our first question. Right? You said if I could pack it in a bag, everyone that was there was so helpful. So let's go into our first question. And Dr. Gary, let's have you answer that first one. So, what staff or faculty members were instrumental in your success at Voorhees College and in your career?
Okay, man, I could go on for days for that
Okay.
question, but I appreciate that question. So I would say, being involved at Voorhees, I would first say attending Voorhees College was one of the best decisions I ever made. I started off, like I said, I was a first generation college student. I actually, when I graduated from high school, I took about 2.5 years off before I actually went into Voorhees.
Okay.
And so I was working at Michelin Tire Company, and it was about 3:00 in the morning where I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. This is not the path that I wanted to continue to endure. And so I made a call to one of my mentors, Daryl Bird, and I said, it's time for me to go. He said, that's what I've been waiting for you to tell me.
Yeah.
And so he made a phone call. I applied. I was accepted. And right then I began my journey at Voorhees College. And when I had the distinct pleasure of meeting 3 phenomenal women with the trio student support services, Miss Jefferson, Miss Highland, and Miss Reese, who took me in, and a host of other students as their own. They nurtured us. They held us accountable. And student support services is a program for first generation low income students, students with disabilities or specific needs, to ensure that you get the quality education that you deserve. We are considered at-risk students, so the likelihood of us graduating is slim to none. And so they were very instrumental in me, as well as a lot of other students, specifically on this panel, to say that no matter where you come from, you can do it, you can make it. And so, along with TRIO student support services and other STEAM faculty and staff, they were very instrumental in getting me where I am today. And so I'm forever indebted to the faculty and staff, as well as, just Voorhees College, for giving me the opportunity to be able to thrive, providing me the resources and nurturement to say that, man, when you start here at Voorhees College, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. And
I've been able to acquire those things. I'm still learning along the way. I'm always evolving, never stop learning, hit the ground learning and running. But it was at Voorhees where it began. And so if you're a student at Voorhees College, no matter where you come from, no matter where you started, regardless of where your background, your upbringing, you can go anywhere. As long as you have that will to succeed, you can thrive and you can become successful. Yeah. So thank you.
So you got Miss Highland, Miss Reese, and Miss Jefferson.
Highland, Miss Reese, Miss Jefferson, and I love the other faculty and staff, Mr. Augusta Kitchen, Dr. Branch, I know recently married, changed the name, of course, Dr. Germany. I mean, it's a lot of faculty and staff that are very instrumental. But I will say, upon my arrival, it was TRIO Student Support Services that said, we're going to make sure that you be successful here at Voorhees College.
Yes, sir. Shout out to TRIO. If y'all are listening, he's giving you your flowers while you can smell them. So
join TRIO.
There we go. You got to put that plug in. Christina, let's come to you. Let's talk about who are some faculty members that were instrumental in your success here at Voorhees and in your career.
Okay, so I'll go with Ms. Bradford Kennard, who was the mass communication teacher, and also Mr. Smith, who was very instrumental in driving me crazy, but at the same time, they would put the pressure on and were willing to help and push you to get to where you need to go, and also gave you a bunch of opportunities to show where you are in your mass communication life. With the mass communication club, with NAACP, those kind of pushed me. But definitely Dr. Chenault Temby, recently past Dr. Branch. She has been inspirational to me. She's been a mentor, like a big mother, big sister. I can't really call her big mother.
That's
but,
fine.
yeah, definitely, especially with Ghana
Yeah.
Campus All-Star Challenge. She was on the trip to Ghana. Like, those experiences with her have been amazing and been instrumental in pushing me to get really out of my comfort zone and to do what I have to do to succeed.
That's a key point. Instrumental with helping you get out of your comfort zone. I like that. Stephen, let's come your way. Let's talk about some staff or faculty members that were instrumental in your success and in your career.
Yeah, so just like Gary, I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. So before I actually came to Voorhees, I had no idea that I even wanted to go to college. It was just something that I knew it would be a challenge, but I didn't know what to expect ahead. I will definitely say going to Voorhees College definitely helped out my life tremendously. I don't know if I would be the person who I am today if I wouldn't have took the steps to actually apply. So I was actually referred to Voorhees by someone. I went to Gentleman High School in South Carolina. So one of my teammates in football, his brother actually went to Voorhees at the time, and his name was David, or Coach D. And he was just like, yeah, bro, my brother goes to Voorhees. It's a great school. Just try it out, give it a chance. So I went down there for student orientation. And when I first got there, I went to the security hut that's right there by the Greek plots. And I was just like, where's Voorhees College? And the guy looked at me. He was like, this is Voorhees College. So I looked around and I was just like, Greenville isn't a big city, but just going down those dirt roads, it's not what I was expecting. So I told my mom, I was just like, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna stay here, and I met, some great people that I have lifelong friendships with a lot of people. But during my time when I came in, Miss Jefferson was my advisor at the time, Linda Jefferson, and she kind of took me under her wing. And then from there, from a business acumen, I would definitely say Dr. Caslin really stayed on my tail a lot. When I was at Voorhees, I wasn't the best student. So I wasn't an A student. Sometimes I wasn't even really a B student when I first came in, but with having the right role models and having the right friends in my circle also, where we challenged ourselves, we pushed each other. Sometimes we made grades and getting to certain levels and checking things off our list academically, kind of a goal, so not saying it had to be a competition, but it made me go harder a lot. And I definitely owe that to Dr. Caslin. He was an accounting professor. I was an accounting graduate. So a lot of things that I'm doing now when it comes to the financial literacy aspect, I learned those things at Voorhees College. But what's crazy is 7 years later, I'm teaching people the same thing that I was taught in that class. And during this gap, I really actually took, just the knowledge and the gems that he dropped about investing, financial literacy knowledge. I didn't know the impact of what it would be in my particular life. So I was able to, translate a lot of those things. I definitely think he'll be proud. I will say Dr. Goodman. Dr. Goodman was he was a stern guy, if you remember Dr. Goodman, and also Dr. Singh. A lot of times Dr. Singh, he saw potential in me when I didn't see potential in myself. So a lot of those three teachers, along with Ann Freeman, they kind of really just pushed me apart. Miss Freeman, everyone knows Miss Freeman, but she definitely motivated me, kept me involved, even from just handling, different life things. She was also my English teacher, but she was also my landlord. So, it taught me a lot of responsibility and a lot of different things. But those are probably the top three people that had an initial influence at my time during Voorhees.
Yeah, love it, man. Not only was she your teacher, but she was your landlord. Love to hear that one.
Rent was due. Rent was due on time. Freeman ain't pay about that rent.
That was good. That was good, man. So those of you that are watching right now, these people on this panel, they're giving us so many nuggets already, and we just started. So I encourage you to please share it. Please tell somebody, hey, you need to come on Facebook, you need to come on YouTube because you're missing the treat. So Zipporah, let's go to you last. Who were some faculty and some staff that were instrumental in your tenure here? Because I'm sure you have somebody you want to pack it up in a suitcase and take it with you.
From entry, it would be, I don't remember her name, but she was in the dormitory in Blanton. She was like the best lady
Okay.
ever. The best lady. She would come check on me because she knew that I was from Atlanta. Coming from Georgia, Decatur, to seeing, country country living is like, okay, we can do it. We can do it. So she would come check on me just to make sure I was okay. From entry, I can remember the lady in Blanton. I just can't remember her name. Her face is so vivid in my mind, but I just cannot get to her name. Miss Nimmons, Miss Barbara Nimmons, who was over the computer science division. She was instrumental in a lot of things with me, not from just organizations, but she would give me advice. We still talk today. Um, and lastly, Dr. Germany, because I was a criminal justice major. Dr. Germany was tired of me. I would come in her office and I would I would go over I would go over the little sheet that they give you at the beginning of the year. I'd be like, are you sure I'm taking the right classes? Are you sure I'm on the right track? Like we would go
Right,
over that
right.
sheet probably once a month, and she would just be like, Miss Taylor, I promise you, we gonna get out of here together. And I'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, now I gotta go. I ain't trying to. We can get there before the goal, or we can get there at the goal. Whichever one we gonna do, but we gonna get it there. And she was so patient and so kind. And even when I battled her on certain things, like I would be like, well, in the book it said this, but when you did the online quiz, it didn't have that on there. So I think we should relook at this. We should revisit it. And she would look at it and she would say, okay, you're like, she would tuck it in and be like, okay, you're right. Let's
Yeah.
revisit, let's look at it, let's see what we can, and then she would ultimately, if she was wrong, she would admit it. And if she was right, then she would tell me what my vision of what it wasn't was. So it
Mm.
was those three ladies were very, and I cannot forget Mr. Watson. Mr. Watson was the best, not only photographer, but he was someone you could just go sit in his office and talk to all day, and you would just. He was like, I don't. He was like the dad or uncle you could call, and
Yeah.
he was there. He was always there. Mr. Watson is still a great man. He's still involved. He's just all of them. All of them are just like, if I could, I know I keep in touch with them, but if I could go see them regularly, I would, like I see my family, because
Mm.
they are family.
Yeah. Yeah. That means a lot. And I think the first lady, we can just change her name to the best lady in the world since we don't know her name. In this conversation, we can just change the name to the best lady in the world. So let's talk about this, you all. Right now, students have been introduced to a phase in college that none of us have seen before. The virtual, some are not on campus and some are literally just doing things from their laptops and from home. But let's talk about your motivation, because maybe you didn't face a coronavirus, while you were in school, but you faced some things. So what gave you motivation when times were difficult? And let's start with the ladies this time. Christina, let's start with you. What gave you motivations when times were tough while you were in college?
Knowing that I don't want to be in the country for that much longer, that's for sure.
Okay.
And just eating McDonald's. But definitely pushing myself to know that I have to succeed for myself and nobody else is going to do it for me. That the world is my oyster, literally, and that I have to put in the work. And sometimes it might take a little bit of time. I might have to push myself a little bit harder. I might have to take a break, a semester, and get myself together before I have to push and know that I'm getting closer to the finish line. It's gonna be there, and I'm the one that needs to get myself through there, not
Yeah.
SSP, not Miss Jones. They couldn't help and push me to get to do what I have to do, but I have to be the one to want it for myself.
Mm. I like that. Dr. Gary, let's come to you. What gave you motivation during your difficult times while you were in college?
Okay. Um, I would say remembering why I
Yeah.
started first and foremost. My purpose of starting this journey ultimately led to continue to thrive and having that innate ability to say that I can do it. You know, growing up in a drug infested neighborhood in Piedmont, South Carolina, um, it was always said that you're not going to graduate or you're not going to even merely enroll in college. And during these times,
Yeah.
you know, you're not to live to 25. So to say that, you know, you have the opportunity to better yourself. And I'll never forget my cousin. She actually commented on one of my posts and she said, I remember when you were young and you came outside and seen everything that was going on around in the environment. And you looked at me and said, you know, I don't want to be here. You know, I want something
Yeah.
better for myself. And she said, that's what you did. And those little moments, those little nuggets, I never forget, because I know it's a lot of young kids just like myself, you know, growing up in these environments, you know, been exposed to these different levels of anxieties and upbringing and development. You know, you never know what your path is,
Yeah.
you know, but I would say that the seeds that are planted from your path will not determine your future, and we will be fruitful.
Yeah.
And so you have to take what you've been given, the opportunity that's been given to yourself, and make the best of it. And so growing up in the environment, saying that I want to get out, looking around and seeing some of my friends, I love them to this day still, but I did not want that to be my path. And so I decided to find a way out. Me thriving, me being that gazelle, that lion, is me leaving from my environment to be successful. I had to run from where I came from. And so growing up in that and having that innate ability to say that I want better for myself, you know, I appreciate, I loved growing up. I still go back home to this day. That's my family. But I know that it was something different out there for me. And
Yeah.
enrolling in Voorhees College provided the opportunity to be where I am today. And so along with my trials and tribulations, there was a lot of people that helped me along the way. I had a lot of friends that say that they held me accountable, saying that this is what you want to do. I have a lot of friends, especially in my group chat. Some of my frat brothers, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. They say that we have to hold each other accountable. You said you want to earn a doctorate? When? Put a timestamp on it.
Come on, man.
And that's exactly what we did.
That's
we
it
hold
right
each other
there.
accountable. A lot of my friends, we say, you know, this is what you want to do. You have to do it. And so growing up in an environment, getting out, having to be able to be successful, thrive, having those mentors, those father figures, one in particular, Will Gregg, man, that's like a father, like no other. And so having those people in your area that helps the overall development of the person who you will become.
Yeah.
That's the experience that I've had. And I'm still growing into that to this day. I'm not perfect. I earned a doctorate and it's humbling, but I know that I did not do this alone. And there are other people that's looking at me and I can hopefully be that beacon of hope to say, if I did it, you can do it.
Yeah.
If I did it, you can do it. No matter where you come from, no matter your upbringing. You know, it's not about the things that happen to you in life. It's your attitude. It's how you handle it. Your attitude will determine your altitude. And so it's about whatever the things that transpire in my life, no matter if it's good or bad, what are you going to do with the moment that's been given to you? What are you going to do with it? And so you have to always seek the best, persevere, strive, and help people along the way. Each one teach one. It's not about you alone. It's those who want to follow you as well. So you, whatever your footsteps are going to be the path that you lay for the next person, the next generation to become successful as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. Gary said, he said that the people came back to him and said, you said you want to do this. You said you want to be this. You want to. That's accountability, man. I love it. Zipporah, let's come to you. Let's talk about your motivation when times were tough at Voorhees College. Maybe froze. It's okay. All right, we're back.
My motivation. Oh,
No, it's on you.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My motivation stem just from me wanting better for myself.
Yeah.
I know where I came from. My family. I was the first generation grad, so not saying that they was dependent on me, but they was looking up to me. I have little brothers. I have little nieces and nephews and cousins, and they need that role model. And I took on that pathway to be the initial role model for my family.
Yeah.
I took on this position because I felt like if we can start with breaking the generational curses and being that figure in someone's life, we why not it be me? And because I already have nieces and nephews, they're young, they're so young, they're in elementary school, but they need that person or that personnel to just, to be like, I want to be like my auntie, or I want to follow in my auntie footsteps. And I tell them every day, you don't have to go to a 4-year institution. You can do whatever your heart desires. Just keep going. You know,
Yeah,
if whatever, even if you don't go to a 4-year institution, whatever you decide to do, just keep going. Don't give up on what you want to do. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to continue at Voorhees. When I got there, I felt the love. I felt the family. It was like no other. It's just,
yeah.
so I figured, why not finish where I started and continue the journey while we're ahead.
I love that statement that you said earlier. You said that when a person is looking for good role models or, or good mentors, why not let it be me? You know, I'm going to stop looking for them, but why not just allow it to be me? That's so good. Stephen, let's come your way. Let's talk about some of your motivational moments to help you get through those difficult times. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, for me, honestly, it was really, I was real big on accountability. I
Yeah,
think initially, when I was younger, it just coming into Voorhees, it's when you're younger, it's easy to make a lot of excuses for yourself. So it's easy to blame the community you came from, the hometown, the hood. Oh, I'm from the hood. Or you come into the college, wearing this chip on your shoulder, thinking, everyone is against you. You can't trust
yeah,
anyone, and things like that. So Voorhees kind of, being just a small college, I was able to connect with some friends, lifelong friends that really just pushed me. A lot of times we push each other when we felt like we wanted to give up and we ain't believe in ourselves. We held each other accountable. Even to this day, it's just all about accountability at the end of the day. I will say that just being motivated and just staying stern on myself and my goals, just having a plan in place. Like, you know, if you're coming in as a student, a lot of times you don't know what's ahead. You don't know what's going to take place after graduation.
yeah,
The biggest thing is a lot of people have great ideas, but what I've learned through this time, even past, is it's great ideas are only great ideas. If you don't execute on that idea, you're not going to bring it to life. So my biggest goal after I graduated Voorhees, and I can thank some of my friends who helped me accountable, is really just executing all my plans. If I say, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to launch this business, I'm going to put 100% in. And that's the same way. Like, I think I'm also a catalyst. Of course, where a lot of people don't take that route to entrepreneurship.
yeah,
Entrepreneurship is challenging. You'll be broke a lot of times, and a lot of times you won't have the support you need. But it's all about just really staying invested in the people who do support you and who are invested in you, and don't turn their back on them. And you can actually have, initially your initial supporters. I'm real big on networking and just building out, just any type of ideas. But your initial supporters are the ones that's going to tell other people about your business, other people about your brand, and that's how you're really going to be able to connect with other people and really just grow. So if you have an idea, or if you're at Voorhees now, you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, I definitely say consider your plan now. Like, if I would have had like the tools that you guys have now, like 7 years ago, you guys definitely have a lot of resources. So tap into people that's doing it. The biggest thing, another thing too, is you can't learn from people that's not doing it. So the people that I wanted to mirror and the people that I idolized, or who were my mentors, were people that were actually out here executing, actual business owners, people that already, launched six-figure brands, just starting up, as well as $1 million brands. And then even after Voorhees, I didn't dive straight into entrepreneurship. I actually worked at a lot of startup companies just to find out how these companies are ran, what personnel is needed. And I was taking every tip and every gem. Like a lot of people, if you follow me on Facebook, I traveled for over 4 years all over the U.S. And I was pretty much a software implementation project manager for healthcare facilities. And I worked at all of these startups just to get ticks and gems to know how to build my own company, to know how to build out my own software. to know how to manage people. So it's a lot of things that goes into entrepreneurship, but I think it's really holding yourself accountable, and also just making sure that you're motivated to stay on task. And then you're only good as the people around you. So I think it's really, they say it take a village, and I'm a strong believer in that. So I have no one to thank but my family, friends, and a lot of people that's even tuned into this call, man. Y'all probably just look at this call like, man, yeah, like I got to thank a lot of you guys also.
Yeah, that's good, man. We had a lot of motivation on this call, so I'm sure everybody can pull from something and say, hey, Stephen said this, Christina said this, Voorhees said this, Dr. Edward said this, and so I want to go another way really quickly, because we know the HBCUs have a culture like no other, right? When you come there are some things that you experience that literally help you to cultivate who you are. So I want to ask the question: what were some things that your classes did to encourage school pride at Voorhees? I'm sure you all had times where y'all were just doing things across the campus, but what are some things? Zipporah, let's start with you this time. What are some things that your class did to encourage the school pride?
Wow. We just had our own fun. To be honest, we would go to the blacktop, or we would go in the middle of the grove on the stage, and someone would grab a speaker, and then here comes what is this? Here comes Chief saying, "Y'all can't do that. Y'all can't do that." People, we got class going on, but we created our own fun. Like, we had water balloon fights. We constructed our own little niche. Like, we made it our own. Like, don't go out and do that though. Don't do not do those things that we did. But we were having fun. It was harmless fun, but we just didn't know. Sometimes we didn't know how to go about asking, or we was afraid to ask personnel, like, hey, can we have because who's really going to approve a large water balloon fight? Like, who's going to approve a midday meltdown kind of thing in the Grove, like during lunch, when we wanted to listen to music, or when we just wanted to be outside because everybody didn't have class at 1 or 2 o'clock. Everybody had their morning class, or everybody had a late class. Like, we just wanted to be us at the moment. But I just really want, don't do the things that I did. If there are any students watching, don't do the things that we did. Go through the proper protocols and chains. I know a lot of the people there now are, very nice, so they might let y'all do some of the things that we did or did implement. I know that they've now started playing music in the caf, and that they do sometimes have like little activities outside. So that's great. So now they don't have to buck as we did, and do those things on your own accord. But you just got to make it your own. You got to do. You in school have fun, but just don't go extreme.
Yeah, I love the disclaimer that you put on the end of that. But don't do. I love that. So, Dr. Gary, let's go to you. What were some things that your class did to encourage the school pride?
Oh man, we at all times through our the best way that we communicate, we always told the story of Voorhees College. Whether that was by presence, going to another campus, sharing it on social media, and just being on campus, being involved with each other. And a lot of times we establish our own, per se, intramural sports, whether it's flag football, or there's a pickup game with basketball, talking with some, the other fellow Greeks, and having different types of competition, like stroll-off, and specifically with Mr. Barge, last homecoming or 2 ago, I can't remember, established the Greek, the alumni versus undergrad stroll-off competitions, and the different things that you all did was amazing. So these are the things that need to help. And that leads to the next point as far as like alumni being involved and catering to students and helping out and sponsoring different activities and being mentors for those students. And so the things that we did is that to this day, what I always do, continue to tell the story of Voorhees College. You know, Voorhees College is a hidden gem.
Yeah.
A lot of institutions don't know of. We know about the other historical Black colleges and universities that get the shine, that get the limelight. At all times, I'm going to share Voorhees College. If I'm at Alabama University in my master's program, where do you come from? I come from Voorhees College, 1897, Del Mar, South Carolina. You best believe. And so I'm always inspiring. What is Voorhees?
There we go.
And so at all times, just share. And it was a lot of opportunities to be in the country at Voorhees College, and just open to say that we can take the limited resources that we may have and build and strive to create opportunities for ourselves. So, one man may look at a situation and think, "Oh, there's nothing," and others may look at the same thing and say, "That's opportunity," and that's what we did. Stephen Barge and our other alumni from our class, we created opportunities that there was none there, and we also shared with the faculty and staff to say these are the same things we're interested. So that's why it's important for students to be involved with student activities. You need those students to sit on those panels, be the voice for those students. SGA, what do y'all want to do? What do you like to do? And they are that voice for the student body. And so those are the important things that they involved in student leadership. You advocate for those students that want to do things. And so you can share it with the administration and get things done by bringing in alumni, bringing in other institutions, or collaborative efforts. Those are the things that we're able to do. And we were a voice. And so I'm proud of my class. I'm proud of all the classes of Voorhees College. Voorhees is the great institution. If you're looking for an institution to go to that provided me the opportunity, I took my steps at Voorhees College.
There we go. So, Stephen, let's come to you, and then we're going to go to Christina. What were some things that your class did to encourage the Voorhees College school pride?
So, a lot of things that I think we encouraged when it came to school pride was just really just taking anything that we had and making the best of it. Really just kind of dedicating time and making the best what we had with whatever resources we had. A lot of times, I was involved when I was at Voorhees, I was on the homecoming committee. So a lot of times it was a lot of people that were involved with SGA, where, we pushed to have these certain events on campus and have these things to take place. So again, just to piggyback off what Dr. Edwards said, it's really about just having a voice, I feel like when I first came to Voorhees, I was a silent kid, as a young teenage. And I believe Voorhees was able to allow me to have a voice. And my voice meant something, So I took that to my professional life. I took that into entrepreneurship, and I feel like that translates a lot. A lot of times it's easy to sit by and, deal with, okay, well, this is how things are, this is just how things are, but nothing can change unless you put together a plan, to change things moving forward. So it was people like, Darius Snow, who was our SGA president one year, where he created a lot of different activities along with Action Jackson, John Jackson, or however you know him. Had an integral part of, just early on, just having a lot of different student activities curated to the things that we wanted to do, not what the Voorhees faculty wanted. So I think it's good to reach back to and have alumni who has done this before, be able to sow a seed back into Voorhees, but it's also up to the current students. So like, even after I graduated, I've still did homecoming events for my fraternity, as well as just kind of collaborating with anyone who's on campus for any type of homecoming events too. So a lot of different ideas that they're usually, ran by me, or I'll just kind of send over email, say, hey, I think you guys should do this, or hey, I think you like one of my ideas for next year, because unfortunately we couldn't do, is one of my goals is bringing forward to collaborate with a lot of Voorhees College entrepreneurship, a lot of entrepreneurs, and have them be able to showcase their brand or talk about their brand on a panel like this at next Voorhees College in person, so people can really kind of see the impact of what planting a seed does. Like it doesn't start, like a lot of people want instant gratification, but you have to plant your seeds. You have to really just know how to be patient and work on your goal consistently. So that's all I got to share. As you see, I'm super passionate about stuff, but our class, I definitely think our classes did some amazing things, and we definitely left a stamp on Voorhees. I'm proud of everyone, and I definitely think a lot of people is making a difference out here.
Got you. No, that's what the students need, man. We need that inspiration and that passion that you have. So, Christina, let's end it with you. After you speak, we have a couple more questions. But let's talk about what some of your class did to encourage the Voorhees College School Pride.
Well, we did Tiger Fridays where we would wear our VC gear, our blue and white, and try and behave in the Grove. Or we, of course, our fried chicken Wednesdays where we play some
There we
music
go.
and jam
There we
with
go.
Calf and enjoy life. As Mr. Barge said, is trying to get the students active. Like, you can't just be sitting and thinking that things going to happen if you don't put your input. You have to be active. You have to be willing to participate. You have a voice. You have administration that is willing to listen and gain ideas. Like Mr. Wright, if you want to have, y'all know you can have a water balloon fight, but possibly, you know, make sure that
Right.
people's cars are moved. Just, we have some good fun, but of course, you just need to make sure that we're doing stuff in a safe way, especially with the way that the environment and COVID, especially now going back on campus, is going to be a little different. But you can have some clean, good fun and be safe. And of course, always repping my VC. Like Dr. Edwards said, I will remind you that Elizabeth Evelyn Wright was the first Black woman to found an institution. So please, we don't care about Mary. Mary she did what she had to do, but y'all will remember Elizabeth. And I will remind Sora Underwood of her name is Elizabeth Evelyn Wright, you know, because she went on The View after she got her nice little degree and said it wrong. But it's okay.
So Christina, you said something that I think that some viewers may not be aware of and may not know in detail, but you said something about fried chicken Wednesdays. So when you said that, could you elaborate just a little bit really quickly before we move to our next question? What exactly is a fried chicken Wednesdays and how popular is it?
Every Wednesday.
Okay.
Every Wednesday in the cafeteria. Y'all know where it is? Okay. We have fried chicken. And it took a lot of time to try and get that because we love us some fried chicken. And it wasn't just a pop-up thing. We knew we were going to get it on Wednesdays. Everybody, faculty, staff, everybody in CAF. Then we started doing some music. Of course, everybody started strolling. People enjoying life and enjoying our hour of free fried chicken without having to go to Popeyes or Bojangles.
There we go.
It was good.
There we go. So let's go to our next question. Dr. Gary and Stephen, you both hit on this while you were talking. And I'm glad that you guys were kind of pushing towards that. But let's talk about alumni for a minute. You guys talked about how we should connect with them, or students should connect with them, and ensure that they are aware of what happened previously, because they can glean from those ideas. So how important do you all think that the support is from the alumni for students to succeed? And Dr. Gary, let's start with you first. Let's talk about how important it is for the alumni to be present so students can succeed. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I believe it's very important for alumni to be instrumental in student success and sharing it and telling that story about Voorhees College, because you at that point can bridge the gap between the alumni and the students. And so the alumni, what we can do is merely volunteer our time. And that may be through mentorship. So we can share our expertise to help the next generation, the other student body, as well as informing them about best practices as it relates to their respective fields. And these are the things that I experienced. As Mr. Barge mentioned, and the other host, is that align yourself with people that are doing things in fields that you aspire to become part of. And so they can share those expertise and those experiences to say, look, if you want to be involved with in the law enforcement, you want to be U.S. legislator, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be in higher education. These are the things that I'm experiencing. This is the road path that you should take. And so those things that you want to share, mentoring program, also providing an active, being a role and instrumental in developing different scholarships for students, especially that's well deserving of those things. And so those are the things that the alumni can do to pay it forward to the next generation, to those students that are currently at Voorhees College, to say, I can be a mentor for you. I can provide some sort of a sponsorship, scholarship to say, this is what I want to do and pay it forward to you so you can be successful. Ultimately landing that career opportunity that you deserve.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. Great answer. Stephen, let's go to you, and then we'll go to Zaporia and Christina. Let's talk about the
Yeah,
importance of the alumni support.
Yeah, I feel like the alumni support is definitely an integral part of the current students' growth. So I think, with us giving back, especially, as Dr. Eric said, giving back your time. Also another thing that we can do is, get active with your local Voorhees College alumni chapter. I'm not actually a part of Atlanta Alumni just yet,
Okay.
but I mean, I've had people reach out and, talk to me. So, I think that's a way that you can kind of get back involved if you don't plan to go back to the actual college. As for me, I think where I would personally come in and be an impact is, maybe if I can, come back and, talk to those students that, who do want to do entrepreneurship or who's unsure about their career path, just because, I was an accountant graduate. However, I never went on and just went into a career accountant because, I realized that I grew from that and I had other interests. So sometimes as a student, your interest may change as you get older.
Yep.
I never knew that I would have interest in entrepreneurship. I never knew that I would care about stocks. And now I wake up and that's the first thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at my stocks the first thing I wake up. So it's crazy, but you have to be acceptable to your growth. And I definitely feel like, the alumni can definitely reach back. Giving back, a lot of people think it's monetary. It's easy to send, $20 cash out, $100 cash out. But when you're giving your time, that's a real commitment, because if we challenge ourselves to give our time, and even just for homecoming, even a lot of people, when everyone plan out these homecoming events and, and they say, hey, we're doing this, a lot of people just say, okay, well, I'm not coming back. I'm not going back. When you're going back, you're able to impact these students. Because a lot of times, like, I didn't see the real impact of where alumni relation is until I went back to Voorhees one time, and the guy came up to me and he had been following me on social media, and he asked me about my company. He asked me how did I start it, and I literally spent like 30 minutes to an hour sitting down, and just giving him the blueprint of how I started, and just so it all goes back to just really giving back when you make it, or when you feel like you've climbed a ladder that other people are trying to climb to. It's all about sending that ladder back down, giving back. So I'm an open book. If anyone ever reach out to me and just ask me any questions about entrepreneurship, anything business related, stocks, anything, I'm an open book, and it just really. You just have to be an open book and just, sow your seeds, give back in any way you can. If you can't give back monetarily because you don't have the time, do that. If you want to get active with your local alumni chapter, do that. But stay in the loop. And I feel like also we have to hold, the alumni council accountable also, because there is a huge gap between a lot of people say, hey, join your Metro chapter, wherever you're located. But people don't know where these funds are being allocated. So a lot of people know it's being allocated to the school, but it has to be more transparency on where this money is going, what's the goal, and if we all can collaborate together, we can work to the goal, and then it'll be more alumni engagement. I can't speak for myself. Can't speak for anyone else, but I know my class and a lot of people. If there's different things where we can, pitch in on, I don't think a lot of people will be in opposition to give their time or give their advice, but it just has to be some structure. It also has to be some type of transparency with, any type of giving programs that's created. It has to be, I guess, communicated and streamlined between the students and the alumni so that we can stay well connected.
Yeah, no, I think that's so many great points that you gave, man. And we definitely need to go back and watch this at some point in time and glean from that. I love the quote that you said that anytime somebody helps you up, that make sure that you send the ladder back down. I don't know if you've already pinned that or written it down and said put your name beside it, but you need to make sure that you that you get your money's worth for that one, because that one was a good one. So we have about 5 minutes left. Zaporia, I want to come to you about the alumni support, and Christina, and after that, I want to ask one more question before we end at 12. So, Zaporia, I'll let you go, Christina. And so the question is, how important is or are the alumni when it comes to support to the current students? How important are they? You're on mute.
Okay. Um, the alumni support is very instrumental. I wish I had someone who was in the criminal justice major at the time I was in school to help me figure out what to do after Voorhees. I went through just one because I went straight into my master's, which was from Claflin University. But I then did education inside of a detention facility. So I was a teacher for like a year and a half. Inside of a secure detention facility for juveniles still, and then I figured out that's not really what I want to do. I don't want to be a teacher. Um, I want to help. Like I always had a vision to help. So juvenile probation and parole is is where I want to be and is where I am now. And I'm glad. And if anyone is interested, if you're in a criminal justice major, my name is on Facebook. It's the same as my name here is Zipporah Taylor. You can reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. It's still Zipporah Taylor. And I will help you because criminal justice is hard because it's so broad. The degree version of criminal justice is broad. It touches a lot of different aspects. You can do a lot with criminal. Don't let anyone fool you. You can do a lot with criminal justice. It's a lot. So be. I didn't have that person, so
Yeah.
I can be that person for the now.
Yeah.
For the now students. So if you are in criminal justice or know one of your friends that's in criminal justice, let them reach out to me. I'll be that outlet because you really don't know what to do with any major. Once you get out, you don't know where you're going to go. You just know this is what I wanted to do. I have the knowledge. How can I implement it?
Yeah.
So we just need more of those people, and a lot of more people will sign up as soon as they see this or as soon as they hear about it. A lot of people are going to sign up, and I know we're going to have our alumni being more involved within the students to be that hand in hand work.
No, that was a great answer, man. And to hear you commit to being that person as you gave your explanation is phenomenal. I think you can take so much from that moment alone. Christina, let's come to you really quick. Let's talk about how important you think the alumni support is for current students to succeed.
I co-sign with everything that everybody else says, and that mentorship
Co-sign?
is key. Giving your time and talent, but we also want your money, but giving your time and talent to the current students.
I like how you said that we also want your money. That was hilarious. So it looks like we have a little bit more time. I'm not sure if our panelists can stay over maybe 3 to 5 minutes. I'm not sure if you guys can stay, but we have a decent amount of viewers on Facebook and Instagram. Not Instagram, I'm sorry, Facebook and YouTube. So if you guys have about 5 minutes, we can ask some more questions. Are you okay? Or all right, so we're good. So this question is not actually on our list, but I want to ask this because I think it's very important. So students have now been exposed to a phase that nobody has seen before. They're learning differently. The world has literally turned upside down in 2020. What encouragement do you have for that student that's in school right now? That's like, man, it's tough. I'm not in class. I'm doing everything off of my computer. I can't see my professors. What would you say, Stephen? What would you say to that student that wants to give up?
So for me, I think this is a tough time for everyone. I have friends that's teachers professionally, and then I also have a younger brother who's 14 years old, and he's struggling, with logging into class and staying engaged, things like that. So I think it's tough on both sides. Only thing that we can do is make the best of the situation, and also stay motivated, stay engaged as possible. So just because we're not physically in person, you just want to keep yourself in the loop, stay involved as much as much as possible, and streamline, different type of communication platforms. So something that I just started using remotely with, some of my business partners and friends is Clubhouse. You can download Clubhouse. It's an online platform where you can kind of talk about different topics in different rooms. We just have to be creative. And I think we're in a time where we actually, we need to be creative, and we have technology to use it. So whatever platforms, whatever resources that you need, it's a simple Google search, honestly, and really just stay active and stay motivated, because at the end of the day, the goal is to get to the finish line. So you definitely have to get to the finish line, stay motivated. Tough times don't last always, so it's just important to just stay focused on the end goal, and contribute daily to that goal, and just stay focused.
Awesome. Zipporah, I know you have to leave, but I want to ask this question to you before you leave. How can students stay encouraged in this new virtual phase? Some of them are about to graduate. They've never seen this place before. What can you say to them to say, hey, don't give up. This won't last always. What are you saying to the students?
Just stick, just like I said, I'm sorry. Just like I
No,
said,
you're
just
fine.
stick it out. And if you need time, just step back, because mental health is so big right now, and
There we go.
you is what matters. You are that's all that matters. If you're going through that time, contact your professors. If you have something, contact them. Just work it through at your own pace. Voorhees College has always been understanding. That's why I chose Voorhees College, because of the small environment. They're so understanding. They're so ready to work with you. They're there for you, and you're not there for them. They're there for you. So work with them. Tell them, let them know your mental health matters. I'm big on mental health right now. A lot of our kids within our community are going through things, and we just have to, be mindful. Just be mindful, and all of that is gonna play out. It's gonna play within itself, as I
Yes,
can
ma'am.
see. Lastly, that's about it. Just take your time. Just take your time. Again, like you said, I have to go. I have to run. I have
I
court.
know.
Everyone's heading out. They're leaving me. I have to thank you for having me,
Thank
though.
you.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. I really thank everyone. Dr. Edwards, Miss Christina Barge. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Tigers, y'all are wonderful. I love y'all. I hope to see y'all next year at homecoming. And I hope everyone stays safe during COVID, even though we're supposed to spike. Everyone stay safe. Thank you, Mr. Dew, and everyone who put this together. I appreciate everyone at the Voorhees College family. Like I said, if I had a bag and I could come to Voorhees and put all of y'all in it, I would.
If she had a bag, she'll put everybody in it. Come on, man. We love it. So, Christina, let's come to you, and then Dr. Gary will come to you, and then we'll end our conversation. So, what encouragement are you giving those students that are like, hey, this is a lot, it's overwhelming. I've never seen this before. I'm actually not where I want to be because I thought I was going to be in class on campus. What are you saying to the student tonight? Give up, Christina.
Take the breaks that you need to take. Put pressure on your professors because they also struggling too. And honestly, if you're not putting pressure on the professors, then they think that you just playing anyway, unfortunately. But take the times that you need to take your mental breaks. Get up and eat. Go do what everybody has responsibilities right now. This honestly might be the easiest time of your college career ever. Take advantage of it a little bit, but try and do your best. It's hopefully almost over. I know campus is trying to reopen, but they still, COVID is not something to play with at
Yeah.
all. And y'all lives are way too important to be messing around and worrying about being on campus right now. Just
Yeah.
take the time. If you have to take 2 classes, then take 2 classes. If you're extending your time a little bit, do it. But just y'all gotta be safe. Y'all, it's almost over. Graduation, it might take a little bit longer. It might not be in person, but y'all gotta be safe out here. Y'all gotta be just if you need to take the time out and step back and look at the big picture and figure out what you want to do and set your goals, then do that. But it's all gonna be all right. Put your whatever God y'all believe in, pray to that God. Be like, listen, I need you to push me a little bit, and I'm sure your parents will help push you too, or people around you, your friends, your loved ones. But just it's almost over. And listen, once you're out in the workforce, it's just gonna get real anyway. So y'all got this.
Yeah. Miss Monica Lamb said, cry if you want to, but you have to work. We need your next level leadership. Be the change you want to be. I love it. Yep. Dr. Gary, let's come to you. What encouragement? I know you have some because I've seen you speak. You're a motivational speaker, so I know you have something right now. I should not even ask the question. So what are you saying, man? The students are like, hey, I've never seen this phase before. I want to give up. It's too overwhelming. What are you saying right now?
So I serve as the Director of Advising and Academic Student Success Initiatives at Edward Waters College in Jacksonville, Florida. And so I'm working directly with students that are experiencing this unprecedented times that we're all experiencing. And we're all navigating the best that we can. No one has the answer. And so we're going through this together. What I would encourage students to do is that at this moment in time, you have been provided a canvas. And so at this time, you can paint and draw the reality that what you want to see, how this thing is going to come about. And when in the end, you will become the finished product. And so this opportunity that you've been given as COVID, don't look at it at the time as a setback. Do take this serious. Wear your mask. Colleges and institutions across the world have implemented different protocols and procedures that you must follow. And it's very important that you adhere to those guidelines, faculty, staff, and students. But that canvas you've been provided, it's an opportunity to paint the picture that you want to see. So you need to stay involved, get connected. This is a great opportunity to get involved with student activities, student leadership opportunities. I know a couple of students say, I don't want to join. I'm not going to get the same perks. No, you may not be able to walk on that field during homecoming. You may not be able to experience the same thing, but it's an opportunity to say that I was able to be a part of a student leadership opportunity that helped us get through the times that we're experiencing right now.
Yeah.
How amazing could that story be?
How amazing.
No one has experienced this. COVID-19. This is new to all of us. But I took upon myself to take an opportunity to say I wanted to go and help a group of students through these times, and to say that I was a part of something amazing to help students matriculate through COVID-19. So be a part, stay engaged. Your institutions are doing everything that they can to ensure your safety. But you must adhere to the protocols and everything that's been implemented to ensure your safety. Because if you're not, we're going to stay closed. We're going to continue with the virtual online learning. And you want to make sure that you want to get back to campus. So you have to do your part. Everybody has a responsibility to do your part to ensure that we are all safe. The numbers are spiking. We know that the things that we're experiencing right now, but it's up to you. What difference do you want to make? What is the change that you're going to become?
Yes, sir.
To ensure that everybody is safe during these unprecedented times. So stay involved, stay connected, stay engaged. Don't disconnect. Just because we're not physically there doesn't mean the same opportunity doesn't present itself. It's not about what happens to you. It's how you handle it. Your attitude determines your aptitude. Thank you.
It's great, man. That's from Dr. Gary Edwards himself. That was great. So everybody, we actually went over our time, and it's 12:10, and we went over our time, but I think that this was so great to just hear our panelists share and unload and unpack, rather, to just give nuggets that, everyone will be able to listen later and still get something from. So thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for being a part of this conversation. Even our panelists that had to leave, thank her for coming. We have comments in the chat right now on both Facebook and YouTube shouting you guys out while you were speaking. I'm not sure if you can read it, but they're shouting you guys out, and they're thankful for what you all are sharing. So as we close, do you guys have anything else you would like to share before we close our conversation today? Maybe in like a good 60 seconds or so. Anybody have anything they would like to share? Christina, I'll go with you first. Go ahead.
Y'all intern. You can still intern virtually. Internships will get you to through a door. Like, this is how I got my job. Okay, guys. Intern, be safe, push through your jobs. Social media is your best friend, but use it wisely. Okay, LinkedIn is not the same as Facebook and Instagram, but it can help you get a job. Okay, those LinkedIn will help you. They have the little thing where it says send it out and recruiters come and look at your pages. So use those opportunities. People are looking for you as you're looking for them. And y'all be safe, be blessed, be blue and white always.
There we go.
Y'all be great.
There we go. Dr. Gary, 60 seconds. What are your closing remarks today?
All I have to say is the white and the true blue.
There we go.
Voorhees College, 1897, Denmark, South Carolina. It's been a great opportunity to be amongst the esteemed alumni here. Great job, Mr. Du, for moderating this auspicious occasion. So thank you so much. To the faculty and staff of the college, thank you all for supporting our efforts. You all continue to do a great job, phenomenal job. But I will continue to urge everyone to do your part during these unprecedented times to ensure the safety of everyone. Stay masked up, keep a mask, adhere to the guidelines, the rules and the regulations, everything that's been implemented to keep you safe, because this thing is serious. And but above all else, continue to strive for excellence. You've been given the opportunity to strive for excellence, so it's up to you to ensure that comes to fruition.
Yes, sir. Our entrepreneur that joined our discussion today, Mr. Stephen Barnes himself. 60 seconds. What are you saying to the people?
Yeah, so I would definitely say just stay encouraged, do all that you can do, build daily, and just stay motivated. This is a tough time for everyone, but all we can do is just push forward. Remember, keep your mind on the end goal. And always use your resources. Even me, if you need to reach out, if you have gems or questions that you need about entrepreneurship, I'm mentoring students at Voorhees currently already. And for my tech startup Tenacity, we have a plan in place. By probably next summer, we tried an internship with Clark Atlanta students. It went pretty smooth. So what we're going to do is roll out our whole program. My goal with that program is to be able to be a catalyst to streamline Voorhees College students through opportunities in tech through my internship program. So as my duty, as my charge, hold me accountable to that. Also reach out to me. I'm happy to, share any resources that I may have that got me and helped me create the person who I am today. Again, like Mr. Edwards say, I wasn't, he wasn't, and I wasn't the perfect student at Voorhees. That doesn't mean that you can't go out here and change the narrative, make an impact. It's all about, just making an impact and doing your part, making your family proud, making your friends proud, and holding yourself accountable daily. Thank you, Mr. Du, for organizing this, and having me here. I'm glad to, be a voice and be able to share any type of tips, gems that I can have.
Thank you all for joining us. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Sumner that's working all of our technicalities right now with what we're using. Shout out to Mr. Mears for being recording. I was just able to moderate, and so I'm thankful to be here with you all. I have to get you all on our Good Trouble podcast because this was too much information. So if you see an email come from me, we have to get you there because students need to know. So thank you all for joining us. If you have not shared yet, make sure you share it with somebody and tell them that we have the alumni from Voorhees College up here giving away nuggets, and they're free. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Continue to enjoy the homecoming events as they're going on today, this evening, tomorrow, and next week. So we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
All right, have a great day. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
Franklin Evans, president of Voorhees College. I just want to invite you to our Day of Giving. It's December 1st, and we want you to tune in to our Streamathon. This will be a perfect opportunity for you to give back to Voorhees College. We will appreciate whatever amount you can give. And so tap into your neighbors, other alums, anybody that you know. Let's make this a big event. Don't forget, December 1st, it's our Day of Giving.